What's good and what up? It's your brother SamAnt here at Viral Hip Hop News. Do me a favor, family, before we get started with the content. Y'all know what to do. Go up top and hit that like button. Alright, so this story right here is a very interesting one. We all know Meg Thee Stallion just recently signed with Roc Nation, stamping her name and being one of the premier female artists in the future, 2019 going into 2020 and beyond. She jumped on her Twitter to kind of just reflect on her success, her upcoming success. She went on to say, after my mom passed, I promised myself I was going to keep going hard because not only is music my dream, but it was her dream for me too. I have days where I want to go hide and cry because she's not here, but I know that ain't what she would want me to do. I know she's proud of me. Now, her mother was also acting as her manager. Very sad. She lost her mother recently due to a brain tumor. Well, former NFL star, you guys see it right next to her right now, Larry Johnson, had something to say about her mother passing on Twitter, and it brings up an old age conversation. I'm going to read what he said, and then I'll give her reaction to what Larry Johnson said. He said, a coincidence. Her mother, who was her manager, died in the month of March 2019, the same month of her breakout, quote-unquote, music industry filled with the easily corrupt fatherless children looking for Satan to be the daddy they never had. Now, anybody who's listening to this right now knows good and goddamn well, who have heard plenty of Illuminati conversations before. Meg Thee Stallion just recently signed with Roc Nation and Jay-Z, and we all know Jay-Z's name has been in plenty of Illuminati conspiracy theories and throughout the years, decades now. Beyonce, you name it, he's been involved in it. So it wasn't a surprise to me that her name would soon be attached to this too. She went on to say this to Larry Johnson, not happy, but this is what she said. Just because you found out about me around the time my mother passes does not make what you're saying accurate. I've been grinding for so long and would appreciate if you weirdos on the internet would stop trying to associate my mother having a brain tumor with the fucking devil. Now let me say this right. Do I think that some weird shit goes on in Hollywood, in the music industry? Absolutely. There's some things that we just cannot explain, or reasons why certain people rise to success. I believe that 100%. But what I don't like, and what kind of drives me crazy, is that every time you see a black male or female rise to a certain level of success, it could never be because they're grinding. It could never be because they busted their ass and worked hard and did what they were supposed to do to solidify themselves in that position. It always has to do with some white fucking devil or the Illuminati or somebody having to get sacrificed in order for them to be successful. Like I said, do I believe weird shit happens all the time? Hell yeah. Larry Johnson went on a couple weeks ago and took some flack for saying that they're demasculating men in sports, in the NBA and NFL, trying to push an LGBTQ agenda. One can argue that. But when you think of this case, in a situation where you're begging the question that a woman, without any proper knowledge, sacrificed her mother, sacrificed her mom in order for her to gain success. Now, are there some terrible, evil motherfuckers out here in the world? Absolutely. But y'all gotta stop. Please stop trying just to put evil as a justification for somebody's success. Some of us really grind out here. Larry Johnson didn't get to where he was because he was representing the Illuminati. He got there because he busted his ass in Penn State. He got drafted to Kansas City. He went on and did his thing. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was signed to Roc Nation when Roc Nation first started doing their sports agency and things like that, Roc Nation Sports. He was signing them. So I remember him throwing up the diamond sign all the time. Now, Larry Johnson has been at the NFL for a long time, and we all know he has dealt with some things. He's had memory loss, suicidal impulses, mood swings, headaches. Johnson believes that's from CTE, which can't be diagnosed until he dies. They got to do an autopsy on his brain. But he also states that he doesn't remember playing 2 seasons. Now, he's dealt with depression, like I said, and suicidal thoughts. He's on a low profile as of late, being out of the NFL for some time now. But saying these kind of things and garnering responses, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with him, but I'm sure that he would say a lot that I do agree with, a lot that does make some sense, even though he has his demons as well. He's dealt with his legal issues, whatever. Definitely would have a platform open to him to discuss this in more detail. Like I said, I disagree with this notion that Meg Thee Stallion sacrificed her mother in order to gain success. I mean, some success just ain't fucking worth it. And not everybody is willing to sell their family. So for a couple of dollars. That's just my 1-2. Call me my naive if you want to. I know my conspiracy theories are about to go in here and get busy. But if you do get busy, do me a favor and give me some knowledge. Give me some actual evidence that would link her doing this or sacrificing her mother as opposed to just saying it because she's successful. That's just my 1-2. Y'all take it as you do it. Leave a comment in the comment section right now. Let me know what you think. Also, in the description box, there's links to our Twitter and IG. And also, make sure you subscribe to the most dangerous, most underrated, most disrespected podcast out here to date, the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. My brother, Oh God, over at Hip Hop News Uncensored. You can check us out 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday mornings. We drop the podcast the only place you can see it raw, real, and uncut, and most importantly in full. So make sure you subscribe to that and hit that 5-star rating. Hit the notification bell on your way out to get all the latest notifications from myself, SamAnt, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News. This is SamAnt. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.
In today's society, you got to take all of that speculation seriously. But unfortunately, we like to deem the men in particular guilty before anything is proven, period. And even when the man happens to be proven innocent in cases that they are proven innocent, there's still this negative stench, this negative stigma attached to that person. Antonio Brown is our generation's Terrell Owens. He's the person in football that you love to hate. The only thing is, Terrell Owens never called his GM a cracker.
Right.
And now the fact that he just went all out disrespecting an organization, went all out disrespecting one of the pinnacle franchises in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then to just seemingly freely go over to the greatest franchise of our generation and going on his way to win the Super Bowl, breaking records with the greatest quarterback of all time and stamping his legacy as one of the greatest wide receivers. Oh, no, they can't have that. So right on time, you get this. I'm not saying that he didn't do it, but I'm saying that it's a perfect fucking timing. Man, to start an excuse on why to get him out. Now, this is mere speculation. This is mere allegation. Would the NFL be justified in suspending him now based off of this and the lineup of shit that he may have done? In your eyes, first off, do you, in your personal opinion, feel as though that's justified? And what do you think the NFL is going to do?
I think they're going to, this is what they're going to do. They already said that they're going to do an active investigation and see what's true and what's not, and then determine what they're going to do from there. And I don't know, who knew that they had an investigative team like that, but I guess, I don't know what they're moving in, but they're going to do that. And I guess, do their research to social media and talk to different people to see what they can get out of the situation. I don't believe, just me, that he did it. I think today, because, I think some videos came out with them kind of hugged up. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nah,
and then booed up and whatnot. So I think it was just a situation where a relationship went sour. And I think personally, a lot of people might, this dude's crazy, that they hold this so-called trump card over guys that step out of line. As soon as you step out of line, boom, what they come with, the sexual harassment, it's like fucking clockwork at this point. You can go down the list, Usher, Trey Songz. We can keep going, different people that keep getting Chris Brown. Every time somebody who seems like they may not just be walking that straight and narrow and, be a yes man, when they start stepping out and letting their nuts hang per se, they don't like that with black dudes, man. And it seems like they have something, anything it could be, any angle that they will use their media, which they control, to try to destroy you, man. He stepped out of line, and I don't think somebody somewhere didn't like it.
Now, we talked a little bit about his road to get to New England. Do you condone all of his acts in getting to New England? How do you feel about that?
I was listening and we talked about it, and people may think that I'm a little insensitive. And I don't, agree with him, saying what he said to the man, the GM and whatnot. But it's like, I think they're looking at it like it's a situation where they want to see, and the teammates, I should say, he turned his back on them. You feel me? Like, you're supposed to be, we're gearing up, we're in training camp together, you sign with us. Those guys is looking for you to go out there and ball. So I think they could probably feel salty, the management, the coaches. But again, this is a business, like they say all the time. And if they get ready, if he got hurt or something, and he just say he couldn't perform, they done. They could cut you. So you got to be cutthroat. Now, again, I don't agree with him calling people out of their name. You know what I'm saying? But he felt like he had to do what he had to do. But crazy situation, Sam, man. Again, like you say, T.O., same type of thing. He never went quite that far. But I know from history and, you know, just watching these guys in the NFL and entertainment through the last, you know, 34 years of my life, that when a nigga step out of line, they will crack the proverbial whip on you, man. Period.
And that's what did you? Okay, so that's what's going on right here.
Facts.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's going to harm his play. I think that hopefully, like you were talking about, in regards to his defense team and him saying that they had that $1.6 million, she wanted to have him invest that, and all text messages and evidence and things like that could fall into place to kind of prove that they still had a